So, how is everything, guys? Today I would like to do HTTP Aragog. So, this machine is actually interesting. I looked at the machine and I found that the machine worth having a video, so I decided to create a video for this. It's actually medium difficulty, but it's weird. So, let's go over this. So it's a HackTheBox machine, as I said earlier. You can find it in HackTheBox under this link. So you go to HackTheBox, you search for the name, and you will see it here. Basically, deploy the machine, wait for the IP to pop up, and be ready to go. So this is my machine today. Let's go over the steps and the things that we will go through while we are doing the machine. So the first thing, we will notice that there is an anonymous FTP access. That's one. How you find this? Basically from the Nmap scan, you have the answer. So basically, when you first log in using FTP, anonymous as username and anonymous as a password, you will find inside the FTP server or the FTP directory on the target machine that there is a text file with XML content. It means that the file has XML tags. And actually, when you look at the file, you will find a subnet mask, such as 255, right? You go all the way till you reach 192. 192. Oh my God! Look at this 192. Let's remove this and make it nice. Okay, still not nice, acceptable. So basically, you will find this subnet mask inside a text file, which is kind of weird, right? I mean, who could think that you will find this while you were doing a real pen test? So basically, you would keep this aside and you will continue enumeration. You will find the web server page, and while you were doing directory search using directory buster, using Go Buster, I keep being asked about how I end up finding these pages. Again, guys, you can use directory search and Go Buster to list out all of the directories and files exist on the server that can be browsed. We find a page called hosts.php. It displays the number of hosts or the live hosts. So basically, I know there could be no connection between the text file and the page, but based on the contents here, we have subnet mask, and here is the page that displays a number of active live hosts. And since subnet mask is actually conceptually used for indicating the number of hosts on a network, we deduced that we have to use this file on this page. So we did a post request. Okay, post request. We posted the text file on the host page, right? And the host page immediately returned the number of live hosts based on the subnet mask here, which means, yeah, I know I can change the subnet mask and make it something else to display a different number of hosts, but the key takeaway is not here. The key takeaway is the actual XML content is being executed on the PHP page, which means we can have what's called as XXE XML external entity injection, where we get to create XML payload and the server will execute this for us. This alone will lead us to, yeah, actually I wrote it here, yeah, XML injection, and we will use XML injection to create different kind of payloads. So basically, one way we can dump the contents of the password file. Another way is to get foothold. How? We will dump the SSH keys. Basically, we will dump ID underscore RSA. So after we have this SSH key, we will log in and have the first shell. So having the first shell means all left is to conduct the privilege escalation. So we find that there is a cron job running every 5 minutes. This is it. Every 5 minutes, running as a cron job. This file is called wp-login.py. It resembles a file called wp-login.php. So this file, what actually does, it logs into the WordPress sites every 5 minutes, removing a directory called its name was in the under the lines of the wiki, something like that. And then it recopies or restores the original content of the dwiki back to where it was. So what it does actually here, the key takeaway here is that it logs in as a cron job to the WordPress, which means if we have write access to wp-login.php, we can sniff the credentials being used here. I know they are not being actually hard-coded, not hard-coded. So you might be asking me why you are just doing it the hard way. Just grab the credentials from here. No, actually they are not hard-coded, which means we will have to sniff for credentials. We will add code here under wp-login, which will sniff for the credentials being used to log into the WordPress dashboard. So we got the passwords sniffed, or the credentials. We will use them to gain access to the root user. That is in brief. Let's now convert this brief into an actual practice. Okay, so there you go, the nmap scan, FTP server, FTP protocol, and we have FTP server running anonymous login allowed. We have 22 for SSH and we have 80 for HTTP. Let's proceed according to the protocol we built in the very first of the video and log in to the FTP server. But before that, let's create a directory called what was the name of the machine? Aragog. Okay, paste this. Hopefully I am pronouncing the name correctly. cd Aragog. Okay, so FTP, and here let's take the name, the IP, paste, anonymous. Okay, see, we are logged in. ls, this is the text file I was talking about. Let's get that file. Test.txt, exit, ls cat test.txt. Here you go. So as you can see here, this is the XML content, and we have what seems to be as subnet mask. Okay then, now let's launch the browser, and I'm going to show you guys how I got to the weird page host.php. So basically sudo go buster dir-u http, and of course we put in the IP address of the machine. I'm just showing the command, right? No need to run directory buster for every video, right? I think you get the idea of this tool. So -w user share word lists sec lists, and we have discovery web content directory list lowercase. Do we have lowercase? Okay, that is the small text. That's the word list you will use. Also, you can use -x to brute force for file extensions, PHP, and also you can use HTML. You hit enter and you will find the page I was talking about, which is hosts.php. So let's go there, /hosts. Look at this. There are blah 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 possible hosts for and nothing here. Take a look at the page source. What is this? Take a look at the page source, and we see nothing here. So it's possibly that this file will be used in conjunction with the subnet mask here. We just have to find out how to use it. Okay guys, we have two options. We either use curl to make the post request, or we use perp suite. Okay, I would like to run perp suite anyway, because we will need perp suite to conduct the XXE injection. I'm going to run this now for now, but I will make the post request now using curl. So curl -x post -t, and we define in the file test.txt and put in the URL. This will send the file to the page. Now you might be asking, what is the concept behind this post request? So basically this is an XML file, all right, and the page actually seems to be handling seems to be waiting for an input to display the number of hosts, right? So basically, that's the connection between the page itself, hosts here, and the text file. Now, that's the first reason. The next reason is that we would like to see if the page itself, right, will actually take the XML and execute it. Hence, we can determine if the page actually is vulnerable to XXE attack or not. Okay, so enter. Let's start Purpose Suite. Gosh, I think I clicked on the wrong button. Okay. I don't want to download anything now. Go back. All right. Let's see here. What do we have? Let's take a look at this. So we got this output. Let's go down, see where it mentions the hosts. So let's repeat the command and grep hosts. So as you can see, it hasn't been executed, right? I was waiting the exact same actually statement here, but displaying different number of hosts, indicating that our XML file has been executed, but it seems it hasn't. Okay, let's try this with Purpose Suite then. Okay, so go to proxy, intercept is on. Now what we will do actually, guys, we will reload the page here and wait for this interceptor. Going here, no. Oh, I have to turn on the proxy. So go back. So we catch the request now. The request has been called, and now we will just flat out give it the contents of the file itself. So cat test. Let's take this. And that's how we make a push request with this XML content to the page. Right now, let's forward and monitor the output. As you can see, guys, as you can see, the output has changed, and now it's saying you have 62 possible hosts for this subnet mask. Now, to make sure that actually the page is executing the XML code, so what we will do here, we will refresh this. We will come back here and change this one. Say we were gonna type 255.255.255.0. How about this? And there are 254 possible hosts for this subnet mask. This means, guys, the page is executing the XML code, so it's a golden chance to execute XML external entity injection. Now we will have to create a payload. That's why I'm gonna go to my notes, which you can have by subscribing to the channel membership, and XXE, type XXE here. Let's see some payloads in here, guys. Okay, let's take a look at this one. Reading XXE password file. Now we go back. Okay, refresh. Already done. So doc type test. Let's review the contents of the payload element test any. So here we have payload, system file, etc password. Okay, so we replace these with the actual content of the XML file and then replace the tags. So take this one, have this here. Okay then, so instead of the subnet mask, I will call the payload. Okay, so calling the payload, we need here one. Actually, I think I have, yeah. So we need here one semicolon, and here we need the ampersand, which I will find. Okay, so here we have it, test/test, and then details. Hopefully now it will work. It will display the contents of the password file. Let's see this. No, forward. and there is nothing. So what I think, guys, is we need to do one more / here to escape and try them again, and now it worked. So you guys need to escape the add more additional / with the payload. Now we dump the contents of the password file. We take a note that we have a couple users here. Let's see. Page source. That's way easier. Now we have the user Cliff and we have Florian. Both Florian and Cliff have their bash, shell enabled, so we can actually go after these. Now we can first try to dump the RSA keys or the SSH keys for Florian, but Florian doesn't have one. So basically, nope, actually it was Cliff. The Cliff doesn't have one, so we go after Florian SSH key or private key. So what we can do here, we can go back to my payload and then refresh one more time. We will keep the same payload, guys. Instead, we will go after the path of the RSA key. So here, I'm gonna type home Florian /.sh/id RSA. Don't forget to add on additional /. Copy that in case it doesn't work. We won't have to write that one more time, and forward, and there you go. We have the RSA key. So go ahead, copy that, and we go to the directory here. So ls text, okay. Now nano id RSA, paste in the key. I know the key needs some revision. We need to actually edit on that. So we're gonna need to remove the spaces with the new lines. So we can cat id RSA, pipe this. We use the pipe to execute another command, tr. Here we replace the space with what? You guessed what? It is the new line to adhere to the correct format of the SSH private key. Cat id RSA. These needs to be on one line, as you can see here, like this. One line, space, space. Okay, then going down. Okay, let's try that. Okay, so now we logged in as Florian. Next step is to conduct a privilege escalation. So first we look at the cron tab, cat etc cron tab. Whoops. So this is the tool that we will use, PSPY, and from here we can download these executables. I'm gonna go ahead and download the 32 as it will work on the target machine. So this one, download. Yeah, save. Let's save it to this directory. Okay, then this is Florian, ls cd back cd. So we have PSPY here. Let's now upload PSPY to Florian. So we're gonna use SSCP. So basically we go to the corresponding file, Linux SSH. Refer to SSH operations section in this document. Okay, let's look for SSH operations. Now from here, let's look for the command to upload the file. I know it's easy, guys, but I like to copy them as they are. So this is it. Now we go back to the command line. So the file will be pspy, and here is Florian, the username, and we will upload this to the home directory. So it's home Florian -i ID. Don't forget to put the private key here. Yeah, you caught me, guys. It is the IP address. I was just looking at the command, freezing for a second. Why didn't it work? Of course, it's the IP. And now it is uploading the tool. Okay, we go to ls. See, so we have pspy here, and now we're gonna give it permissions to run and run pspy. Okay, then now it will list the running processes along with the cron jobs that we actually failed to see. So going up, let's see here. So as you can see, the UID and the PID of the process, the time, very useful output to analyze. Let's scroll down, see if we have something interesting. Apache restart. And that is the interesting stuff here. So as you can see, it is running the wp-login.php. We will wait a while for the other processes to pop up to actually form a complete image of what's happening. But for now, this is the interesting stuff here, guys. Now you may check out this actually, but we will wait for the complete output to display. So now, as you can see, the same command is being executed one more time. Take a look at the time. And this one is actually after 1 minute. Oh, this one. Yeah, it's actually being executed every 1 minute. And here we have the same one. No, this one is different. User bin Python, bin sh. So why won't we take a look at this? I hope you have permissions to see this. So let's exit, cd home or cat, permission denied. Let's ls here and go to var html ls. This is the directory I was talking about, guys, dev wiki. Now this is the host.php and this is ZZ backup. Now unfortunately I couldn't show you guys the process that is removing the directory here and then recopying the same one from ZZ backup. It's like it's restoring the original copy every 5 minutes, and to do that it is using the wp-login.php. It's actually logging into the WordPress site. So as I said earlier, guys, we will see the inside this dev wiki. We will find that there is the wp-login file. Where is the wp-login? This is it. This is the file actually, guys, in WordPress, where when you log in, okay, you're making post requests with the credentials to this file. So if we put in some code in here that will listen for, or that will capture the posted credentials, we will be able to see the username and password of the logged in user. The big guys. So I'm gonna use echo only. So echo And inside this, we're gonna define a variable called v, whatever you want, print underscore r. So here we're printing the request that's being made to the WP login page, and make it true. And then we're going to define another variable called, say, m, which will save the captured credentials to a new file, right? We can actually, all the time, it's better to save any credentials or any file you would like to create to the temp directory. So we use f open. Here define the path of the file, /temp /creds text. Okay, now we have here 1 comma, and say we can say a here, right? Lastly, we're gonna write this file. We're gonna use the two variables we created actually, m and f write in the f write function. V. And lastly, we will close the file. F close m. Get this one, the closing tag of the PHP. So we have this, end of the closing code, and then we forward this to wp-login.php. wp-login.php. No such file or directory. Yep, I guess guys, the cron tab or the cron job has run and removed the dev wiki. Now we will have to wait till it restores it from the ZZ backup. See here. So now we have wp login again. Run the command one more time. Okay then. Cat wp login grep. That's the grep for creds, and yep, our content has been added to the file. Now all we have to do is to wait a bit and navigate to /temp /creds. Nothing has been created yet. We're gonna wait. So we have the creds, cat creds. Log in, this cookie equal 1. And as you can see, it's very clear that this is the administrator password. Now we're going to take this and use it for the root user. And you are the root guy. So cd root cat root.text. Did we get the right flag? What do you think, guys? Is it 5 or 6 or 4? I would say it is 4. Now, the last key takeaway I wanted to tell you guys is the interesting bit about this challenge is that it's very dangerous if you leave your WP login. Let's go back. You see let's take a look at the issue from the perspective of WordPress directory. So in any WordPress site, you have the WP login, right? This file is responsible for taking or handling the credentials you actually submit and log you into the dashboard. Now, if someone has, or if someone has actually right access to this file, or if the permissions are wrong, as you can see here, anyone will be able to edit on this file. Now, any edit on this file, as we did here, has the potential actually to grab the credentials that are being posted. And since this is not a HTTPS site, any credentials that are used in the WordPress dashboard will be captured by this code. So be careful first to make sure that your site has HTTPS and the wp-login file here has the correct permissions or is secure with the correct permissions. Okay, these are not correct permissions. So the very first thing, you would make Cliff, if Cliff is the web server user, you would make it actually without a shell. No shell. No one can log in with this user. No shell can be opened with this user. That's the very first thing. Next thing is you make it as 644, right? So the owner has the ability to read and write, which is a Cliff, and others can only read. Only read. These should be only read, and these should be actually read and execute. And these can actually be read, write, and execute as the owner. So that was it, guys. I hope you found that informative, and we will definitely see you later.